Okay. To the Supreme God, to my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, all the saints, holy angels, spiritual helpers, and all the great ones, we humbly invoke for your divine guidance, divine love, divine blessings, for illumination, for divine oneness, divine bliss, divine help, divine health, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith. So be it. Okay, let's start today's class. So until today, what have we learned? We've learned about our relationship with God, right? And then our roles and responsibilities, and then who we are, in the sense, in this body, who we are. And then we've learned what is the meaning of acceptance, what is the meaning of surrender, right? And how are we applying all those things into our life? And actually, when we say how are we applying all those things into our life, it is actually not, since we have diverted so much from our natural state of being, we are learning to recognize who we are. So hence we are practicing some of these skills because we had sort of deviated from our original nature. So now we are sort of practicing it back and making and helping ourselves understand that this is where we are comfortable in, this is what we always wanted to be. And because we had got diverted so much, it feels like that diverted nature that we have is so hard to be in. Don't we all feel difficult constantly being in resistance, constantly expecting, constantly having likes, dislikes, and running and chasing all those things? It is very difficult, isn't it? We actually lose a lot of energy in them. Why are we losing energy in habits that come very, very quickly to us? Right? They all will come very quickly. Like, for example, shouting back at somebody and then becoming angry on somebody, expecting something from our children. It comes so very quickly, like it's our second nature. Why? Because we have practiced who we are not so much that we are now being, we have all of this literature, we have all of this uh, religious books, and saints are constantly coming, and all the people. I mean, there is no dearth of how many people are actually explaining all these spiritual concepts today. If you Google or if you go open YouTube, you will know how many people are constantly explaining the same thing. Majorly because we are learning to be who we are supposed to be, or who we are truly, who we truly are. And then once we start practicing, we feel that peace and calm, majorly because that we are sort of coming back into our true nature. And then you'll feel that, oh my God, this is what I've always been looking for. I know I'm so comfortable in my skin when I'm doing all these things. I'm not okay when I'm doing something else, which is like so habituated to me, right? So all of these teachings are not something that I am teaching, not something that is my knowledge or something. All of this you are able to understand because it was always within you and we all know about it. And it's just that we have learned something else. Now we are trying to unlearn all of that. And then once in the process of unlearning, what will happen? All the cages will fall down, and all these belief systems that are not working against us, or rather that is not aligned with us, will fall down. See, when you look at belief systems, right? Belief systems, there is nothing like a wrong belief system and a right belief system. But there is definitely what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So at any point, there will be something that is working for you and there is something that is not working for you. Anything that is working for you is still, the expiry date of that is not yet reached. And what has already served you, for that the expiry date has been reached, and hence the POSE poses are coming to basically trigger that from inside you to outside you. They are trying to remove it from you, helping you remove it. Okay. So like I was also sharing in the chat today, when our focus is not actually on the drama of life, like we have so much, right? With children, with husband, with parents, with in-laws, with the office. There are so many things. But if we don't focus on the different flavors of life, and we just think that, okay, the whole thing is to basically come and clean up my conscience, or it is called antakaranam. So clean up my antakaranam. What do you mean by cleaning up? All these limited belief systems that we are carrying, clean up that. Clean up means not wipe out clean. It's not like a zero state. You cannot be in a zero state, because to be in a zero state, there will always be some belief system or the other which we will be taking and going forward in our life. And there is nothing like an empty slate. You will just be clearing up those belief systems that are not in alignment with you. That's all. It's like you leave the previous step and you keep going forward, no, something like that. So that is what we are learning. And the whole thing that we have to just remember, the whole summary or the small key takeaways that you have to just remember is, just believe that moment to moment, moment to moment, moment to moment, wherever you are uncomfortable, wherever you feel disturbed, wherever you feel sad, wherever you feel sort of off, right? Off or off center, whatever I can say, wherever you feel sort of off, catch yourself at that moment and understand what the pose is at that time. What is my pose? Is it my memories? Is the pose memories? Is the pose as of now memory, some old memory, or is the pose some situation? Is the pose this current experience? Is the pose some person and their behavior, or some anxiety or some thought of the future? Okay, it can be memory of the past or it can be future also. So let it be anything. Okay, fine. First of all, identify your pose, because if you are like, how the memory is a pose, because don't you get scared or don't you get guilty or something like that when you think about your past? That is how it also becomes a pose. Okay, so anything that is triggering you and making you uncomfortable, and it is uncomfortable feeling or that off feeling, means that you have a belief within you, or that energy as of now, that energy that is flowing is now flowing through a belief system. Because what happens is, when a pose triggers something, when you are in contact with the POSE, okay, which means your awareness has come to a POSE. Your awareness has now come into contact with the POSE that has a certain frequency that it is emitting. Okay, so why we contacted the POSE, all that we will not discuss because it is irrelevant. At some point, there is a POSE that you are encountering, and that has a certain, let's say, chemistry or some frequency. And that came in front of you, or that came into your awareness because there was already something within you that was a vibrational match for that. And although it's a vibrational match, when that energy goes through that belief system that is within you, which was a vibrational match for the trigger, it is like, imagine there is a, let's say there's a wire, okay? Some wire like this, okay? Some wire like this. Now, let's say the wire is not connected. Okay, let's say there is no connection. So the electricity will pass here and there is no connection. And then here also the electricity can pass. If the electricity is coming from this side, it can pass till here. But let's say after this, there is a cut. After this, there is a cut. So wherever there is a cut, okay, it is not able to pass properly, correct? So what we do, now in this wire, it is completely connected. So electricity can pass seamlessly. So this is what everywhere in the universe, energy is flowing. This is what we say, right? It has to flow. It cannot you should not have resistance. What does it mean? Now, let's say that energy is flowing from the trigger. And then now, when your awareness comes to the trigger, it means that you are connected. Okay, that electricity or that line has now been connected. It was like this. Now, when the awareness comes to that, now it is connected. Now, what will happen? That energy will be flowing, or rather, there's a seamless connection between you and the POSC. So now what happens is, when that flow happens, you will actually feel it. Because that is the one that is now currently in motion, no? So that is what you will, that programming or that belief system will get executed. So when that gets executed, you will actually release some emotions. And why emotions will be released? Again, there's a lot of, let's say, neuroscience and other things that gets involved there. Science, I'm not going too much into physics and science here, but then I'm just telling the high level stuff. That we will feel those emotions and all that. But what actually happened there is, if you feel bad, if you feel sad, if you feel like uncomfortable with that belief system, it means that it has now expired and it is not in alignment with who you are supposed to be. It is not going to work for you. So what does it mean? If it is not working for you, that means you need to discard it. There is no point in keeping it. Because it was working in the past, but now it is not working for you. Because every belief system is actually supposed to align us to who we are supposed to be. And the only indicator is how do we feel comfortable with it? Do we feel okay with it? And it is not about desires or anything. I'm just talking about, it's the feeling of whether I'm in alignment or no. So at that time, what happens is you just look at the pose. Oh, this is my pose. And if you feel uncomfortable, just don't react. Just let it go. Don't put energy to that belief system. Usually what happens is, when we are uncomfortable or about some thought, let's say we are feeling guilty. We are feeling guilty about some past. Then what do? We don't like to be continuing to be in a state of guilt. We dislike that. It feels very uncomfortable. So what do? We try to switch to something where we don't feel guilty, or that guilt has to be replaced with something else. Because currently, if let's say I am currently on fire, what is our natural tendency? To run out of the fire. So that is what we are trying to do. When the ego finds something that is coming against your belief system, it will try to shoo it away. It will feel threatened. So it is going to act in fight or flight mode. And then it will try to either run away, or it will try to fight back, or it will try to freeze or do some such thing. So at that time, don't listen to the ego. It may have its natural tendencies of fighting, withdrawing, or anything, but don't listen to it. Because if you don't listen to it, if you just don't pay attention to it, you may have done in the past all that running, fighting, running, all that you would have done. You may have shouted back at people. In that guilt, you would have maybe looked at somebody. Oh, what does let's say Ramdas say about guilt? What does Ramana Maharshi say about guilt? What does Osho say about guilt? All that we keep searching. So don't do any such thing. Just remember that, oh, it is just a process. God is now helping me. God has helped me identify a belief system within me which is not working for me. So it is anyway happening. Within this tool, if there is some dirt, God is anyway removing it. All that I have to do is just allow it to happen. So let it happen. So don't pay attention to it. Even if you are guilty, allow yourself to be in guilt and just get on with your day. Whatever you're doing, work, this, that, just move on. Don't give too much of attention to all these things. And then what will happen? See, don't give too much of attention is not ignoring. I'm not talking about ignoring. I'm talking about being aware that it is happening, and you have an intention of allowing it to happen without causing any disturbance to it. It means you have kept the door open and you are that doorkeeper. You are not going to allow anything to shut the door. You're going to keep the door open and be aware that guilt is happening, and be aware. And then you can also be like, oh, I'm feeling so good that this belief system is actually going out. I'm so grateful that in the past it actually helped me. You can have some that kind of gratitude feeling towards it, even if you're not talking mentally also. Just the feeling of genuine acceptance, if it comes, no, that itself is over. Behind that genuine acceptance, there has to be some form of understanding of why I need to accept all this. In general, belief systems that don't align with me has to be sort of accepted and allowed to leave you. So if you have this kind of thing, right, every moment some pose will keep coming. Every moment, every moment, either I can be like comfortable doing my work, doing some busy with something or the other. And at some moment, I might feel uncomfortable. At that uncomfortable feeling, remember that there is always something or the other that is leaving you. And you should just allow it to happen. See, in many other periods also, some form of leaving is anyway happening. But you are not aware because it is not strong enough to actually get your attention. But if you are 100% aware of every single moment of your life, then even at that time, you will realize what you're releasing. There will always be something or the other that is going out, but it may not be so strong enough to catch your attention sometimes. So just have this process in your mind and just keep applying this. Don't think about how should I respond now? How should I think? What should I think now? I want that. How do I make it happen? Don't make any of those things happen. Well, if something has to happen, it will happen. If something doesn't have to happen, it will not happen. If you want it to happen, just make an intention, leave it. And don't be okay with happening, not happening, everything. But don't be like constantly desperate about, oh, why is this not happening? Oh, I wanted this from my daughter. I wanted my mother-in-law to say this. I wanted her to appreciate this. I wanted that happen, this happened. Or my children did not eat this, did not eat that. Or I want them to eat this. I want them to eat that. Oh, they are sick. How should I take care of them? See, there is, wherever you are not able to execute some of these things, right? There is always a desire. So find out what is that desire. See if you can let it go. Surrender. Surrender all desires. Do your job without any expectations and be okay with all outcomes. Be mentally ready for all outcomes. When you're if after surrender also, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like something is not enough, no, whatever this outcome happened is not good enough for me, that means you had not fully surrendered. You still had a secret desire for some outcome to happen. It is always that. You are not mentally ready for some outcome that you were already aware of also. So just within these boundaries, if you're just constantly applying and doing and all of these things, right? Typically, it is a very, very simple thing. Life becomes very simple if you just keep applying some of these concepts. There is not too much to think at all. See, for example, even in that Nidhi spoke about how she handled her pain and all that. No, I did the same thing. I tried to apply. Like yesterday, I was talking to a client, and then they had some issue, and they had some issue in their neck and all of that. So I was sort of, when I was talking itself, it is not like their energy because they have this negative energy and then I got this negative. And there's nothing like that. If I was thinking like that, I wouldn't have even encouraged talking to people with all these life-threatening diseases that I've been working with for so many years now. Which means I used to be always scared, right? Thinking that, oh, I'll contact some problem from them. They are all these negative people and I'm this great positive person. And when I come into contact with them, then I will definitely become negative. No, the whole point was to keep going in front of POSCs and just so that we can get triggered and all of that, right? So hence the way let's say my soul has designed my life is basically to keep meeting not just my family, but to meet other stranger related experiences also, just so that I can watch my own let them be my own pose and also get triggered by them also. right? Some people go have office colleagues also there. It's not just family. Some people are into, let's say they're doing business, then they are into, they're going to a market. There they have vendors, they are vendors of something. And then there also they meet customers. So there are various ways in which we keep meeting people at all times, as long as we are focusing and believing that our whole job is to constantly be aware of what is happening in that current moment and just not get carried away. Wherever we are getting carried away, no, in our emotions and drama and all of that, it means that there, at least you can focus after the episode. Slowly, slowly, you'll eventually come back on when the episode is actually happening. So, okay, so this is the summary. And for all of this to work, for that awareness, the whole, we are like pinning hope on the awareness being there for all of this to apply, right? How will that awareness come? It comes when you are vibrating at a certain frequency. And how will we go there? When we have a daily spiritual routine. On a daily basis, you need to have something that is constantly energizing you. And how do we do this spiritual routine? It can be anything, but the whole focus has to be God. You can say, oh, I am a dot, I'm having children, I have little children, I have to go to office also, I don't have time for all of that. It's okay. Are you not being engaged in activities all day? Bring God in that itself. Believe that all the work that you're doing is you're doing it for God. And then don't have any expectations. Because who has expectations? Only a selfish person has expectations. Only a human being with desires has its expectations. So once you're focusing and putting everything to God and you're removing the self, the ego, the human, the littleness from there, then again it becomes God, no? Anything becomes God oriented as long as you remove yourself from that point, which means you and your interests and your desires and your expectations and all that. When you remove from that work that you're doing, then it becomes God. That is what, see, even within us, when we are doing acceptance and we are removing all the belief systems and all that, what are we actually doing? There is this God that is always there within us. We are just filtering out what we were not. That's all. No. Similarly, there also, you just have to filter all the nots. And then whatever is will automatically be there. Right? So that is what is a summary. And it is very important. See, on the average, or at least 3 hours, if we are able to spend on God, on an average, at least 3 hours, if you're able to spend on God, then you'll actually see miracles in your life over a period of time. 3 hours. 3 hours can be split between 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, morning to evening also. Or you can also get up early and then start off your routine with something like, say, chanting or something. And chanting also, I've spoken about it. It doesn't have to be your mind doesn't have to be in chanting, because we are so far away from the idealness of the ideal state of chanting or any form of God. At least I am pretty far. So I can speak for myself. So I am pretty far from that. So I will not even expect my mind to be in that. If it's there, yeah, it's a bonus. If my mind gets distracted, I'm okay with it. Because obviously, when I'm given that awareness, I will be focusing on what I'm doing, right? But because I don't have that awareness, I'm okay. I'm accepting that state also. So accept yourself the way you are. Because that is the whole point of this journey, to be genuinely in acceptance of who you are, believing that you are not in control of that, and having an intention to basically go beyond that point. It's just an intention that we are having. We are not going to struggle and try and all of that. It is an intention that it's like an application that you put to God. God, I want to basically merge with you. I want to have that, I want to be out of this birth-death cycle. But it may not happen immediately. You don't have to put your life aside and keep trying for all that. You have to be in the moment, because every role that you've been given in the moment is meant to take you there. You can't ignore what you are today to basically get to that state, because that's a future. It's an unknown state. But what is known today is where you are in the present. So you can't ignore your present and try to go to the future. You have to only have an intention and give all the respect to the present and believe that this is just a step that I need to put on, step on, and to go to the next step. And in the next present moment, another step is going to come. Another step is going to come. Another step is going to come. So don't forget your present while you go and then have an intention to go to that point in the future. That is who you already are. But all that we are intending is to to use all the tools that you have been given in the present moment to clean up your belief systems. See, the universe is already arranging for everything. The pose has been arranged, and the system has been arranged where it is going to release and all of that. All that you have to do is cooperate. All that you have to do is just cooperate and just know that it is happening. That's all. That too, when you get the awareness. If you don't get the awareness, it means that the frequency has to be higher to get to be in the state of awareness for some particular thing which you are not in awareness as of now. So, for example, if you're like, you know, you should not be angry on something, but you just have to see, anger is not bad, but the belief system behind it makes you feel very frustrated. No, that is what we are focusing on. We are not avoiding anger. We are avoiding the reason that we are angry. Okay, there is a reason why we are angry. No, that is what we are trying to focus on. And that is the belief that we have. If this doesn't happen, then I'm going to be shouting back and all that. So hence anger is just an energy that is basically coming out. It can definitely be channeled to good things also, right? So many children, they may be very angry about maybe that they failed or something, and then they may take that as a challenge and they may go do something much more. They might achieve something more. Or let's say somebody scolded them in their young age, they may take that as a challenge and they may do something, achieve more. So anger, when channeled in the right way, it actually is helpful. So which means anger itself is not bad. It is the belief system that comes behind it, which is basically keeping you limited. So, okay, any doubt so far on the basics? And now maybe you can ask questions. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell about that pain, right? So any form of pain, anything that you can experience has to be accepted. So basically what I did was, I just like I was talking on the call, and I towards almost the end of the conversation, it's been more than 3 hours or something, we were sitting on the call, and then suddenly I had this radiating pain from my neck, and then it is also here in my thing, and then here. It was as if I have not done exercises for a very long time and I've been awake all night. That was a feeling, because that when when I've not slept properly, or when I've not exercised, and I've literally not used my neck at all properly, I've done all sorts of wrong postures, then I feel that stiffness, and I just want to keep doing this, right? It feels like that. So it felt like that. And then what I did was, I knew maybe, okay, this is a trigger. So there is a pose and there is a trigger that is coming, which is why suddenly I feel like this. Because I've been constantly exercising and it's not. So I just accepted, oh, there is a reason why this has come. Why, what, who knows? It is just going to be my guesswork. If I say, maybe it came because of this. Maybe it came because of that. That is just a guess. Why should I waste my energy in guessing? Who will prove it to me that I am right or no? I don't care. So we don't have to guess. We just say, oh yeah, it is there. I'm experiencing it. So let me accept it. So I just, right at that time, what happened? Zoom disconnected. For some reason, Zoom disconnected, and I tried to connect the Zoom. I was on internet, but somehow Zoom was not at all connecting. And I tried to connect on hotspot also. It did not connect. The conversation was still not over. Then finally, I just told that person to wait until for 5 minutes or something, because the Zoom was already, the recording was getting buffered. So that was also anyway happening. Plus the new connection was also not establishing. So finally, I just told him to wait. And then I just closed my eyes, and then I focused on the pain, and I said, I'm very, very accepting. I accept you fully. and I feel very safe in your presence. I feel very comfortable in your presence. It's like you're very familiar to me. See, when do we feel safe? When do we feel comfortable? Only when they are, when we know them. For example, let's say there is one angry person or there is somebody who you don't like. But even if they are your family members, you still are comfortable in their presence. No, comfortable means you are not threatened. You know they have this nature, but they are your family members. But at the same time, if there is a stranger who has that nature and he is around you, and you're with them, you feel sort of not very comfortable, no? Something like that. So we all feel uncomfortable when we have all these pains in our body, discomforts, skin issues, something and all. We have all these. We'll feel uncomfortable. So, but what if we actually remember that, hey, I am the mother. Sorry, just give me a minute. So what if we remember that, hey, I am the mother of this child. I only created this belief system within me. And now, just because it is not aligning, I feel threatened in the presence of my own child. How can it be? I'm just being made aware that I have this child who has been there within me, but I'm not aware of it. I've just been made aware of that fact. It's just a new thing. See, like that, how many more children we have created in our life, right? We have created so many children, and God is helping us recollect all that. And those children are not necessary for our life as of now. So they are leaving. Okay, they are leaving us. And in the past, if we don't like them, we are actually putting them back inside our body. But now what we are saying is the whole understanding that, hey, this is my child. I only had created this. God helped me, made aware. God made me aware of this child. I'm so grateful. Hey, hello, how are you? I feel safe. Something like that. Become friendly. Be like okay with whatever is happening. So and just say I'm so thankful to you. So the main thing is the feeling of acceptance has to be there within you. It is not the sentence that is so important. The sentence has to have the right attitude behind it. It's not like you're telling a sentence in your mind, but you actually don't feel it. So that is the whole thing. The acceptance means you should believe also. Many people tell affirmations and all those things. No, it works, it doesn't work. Why? Because there is no belief. But here we are believing what is actually very obvious to us. It is very logical. When we do affirmations and all that, no, we are not. We are speaking sentences which are very totally not what we believe currently. Let's say, for example, I am a liar. But then you go tell I'm very truthful, affirmation. I'm very truthful. I'm telling the truth every single day. I'm telling the truth every single day. But internally, you know, oh, I'm not very truthful. I am this liar. Right? That is why it doesn't work. You should also believe. It's like when I say, hey, sun rises in the east. Yeah, you will believe. It's not like an affirmation. You will believe. And then let's say you say, I have two hands. Yes, I have a right hand and a left hand. Yes, I have two hands. And some of these things are beliefs. When I tell you, hey, you felt sad because of a belief system you had, not because of the pose. The same, let's say the pose is still acting like that, but your belief system changed. Then what will happen? You will be the only first person to be happy, even if that person is like that. That is what is called belief system. And we have all seen it happening in our life. As we evolve and we change our consciousness and all that, the pose can be the same kind of behavior, but internally it is not disturbing us anymore. So hence, when you are looking at that pain and other things, if you believe that this pain is something that I created. That is why I am feeling. Somebody else is not feeling pain. No, you are feeling the pain. Why? Because it's your creation. So accept that it's your creation, and you are not like dumb or anything. You created it with full awareness. Who gave you this awareness? God only gave you this awareness. When it was necessary. Some past life, this life, past life, some past moment, you needed to, let's say, have some emotions that were not released properly. It was suppressed and it was in the body. And now hence you have pain for whatever reason. Now you're coming to a point where you're learning all this in a satsang. So now you accept that this pain that I'm feeling is coming out of my body, and yeah, I only created it. So why should I be like in resistance? It's like your hand shaking with that pain. Now, let's say, I don't know whether you've seen this movie called Green Lantern. It's an English movie. In that, he comes face to face with a fear, or you might have seen this in many, many movies. Fear is this black demon or something like that they show, and then you will see right face to face like this. So they say, come face to face with your fears, they say, something like that. So you are basically not trying to run away from anything. You're just saying, you're saying, hello, how are you? So, and then you're believing that it is a friend, it is not a foe, it is not an enemy. So that kind of feeling has to come, that kind of acceptance has to come from within you. Once it comes, then that one sentence is enough. I accept you wholeheartedly, and then I feel safe. I'm not trying to run away because I'm feeling threatened. Egos, what is a reaction? They say reaction versus response. Reaction means ego. What does ego do? Fight, flight, freeze. So there are two more, fawn or something. So it does all of those things. It just tries to escape. It doesn't want people who don't agree with it. So, but I'm not doing any such thing. I'm not listening to my ego. I'm just going to be comfortable with it, because now I'm able to understand who that person is, who that pain is. So when you're in acceptance of whatever it is, it will not actually stay in your body. It will disappear very quickly, very quickly. And if these are small pains that just came, it will actually go away. Within 5 minutes, it will go away. If you keep practicing it, right, this will actually show faster results. And there are so many aspects in your life which may take slightly longer time, because the amount of belief that you feel may not be strong enough yet. You may need a lot more time to actually believe that it is your friend, or it is necessary for you. It is something that you created. All this that I told you, right? It may not still have registered into your head. So hence, sometimes it will take a while for it to literally go away from your life. So just believe that you have not yet got to that point, and keep trying. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Slowly, it will go. But the idea is not to make it go away, because when you feel that, let it go, I'll keep trying it. That is not the idea, right? Then the belief system itself is like, oh, that is not a friend. That is why I'm trying to chase it. Don't become that ego. Suddenly don't become that ego. Always believe that this is an Atiti Devo Bhava. What is Atiti Devo Bhava? My guest is my God. The guest that has come to my house is God. So when you have a feeling of the guest is God, you're not trying to chase that guest away, right? Because you don't like them. It's something like that. So the guest will go. When he has to go, it will go. He wants to go. He doesn't want to stay. He knows this is not his house. He is here to leave. So have that feeling of serving the guest, giving a good message to the guest that I'm not threatened by you. I'm also comfortable in your presence. When you give that kind of an interactive vibe to that pain, then the pain will go off. Pain issues, skin issues, whatever it is, it will go off. So some takes slightly longer time, but keep practicing. And when you have a good spiritual routine also, it sort of strengthens this whole process. Okay? So if you'll have any questions, you can ask. You want to raise your hands? Then maybe we can take one by one. No questions. We can finish the season here itself. After 3 seasons, all have become seasoned practitioners.
I don't think so, Smita. We are not seasoned, but the questions don't come up so easily. Maybe when the interaction is happening in the groups, the questions.
See, I believe that only when people discuss their problems, we'll all be able to learn from it.
Yeah. True.
Sometimes we may not be able to like apply it ourselves, no? So simple
Mm,
things only where it is giving us discomfort in our lives. We can just openly discuss it here because, like I always believe, everybody has problems. And
yeah.
even I
So,
come from the same place. Yeah, Manju?
So this is not more
so
big
can you
question.
hear?
Who's talking? Manjula is talking. Anybody else is also talking? Okay, keep your phones on mute. Thank you. Yeah, Manjula?
So my biggest takeaway on today's session was Smita's like I never thought my past was also a POC till now. This was
Mm.
a very awestruck moment for me because we always dwell in the past, right? Saying that I was there, I was like my life was like that. I never thought this is my POC till now. So thank you for bringing that awareness today.
Yeah,
Because very unexpectedly, we always pick that moment.
true. See, in the
Thank you for
past, again, there is a situation, there is a person, or there's an object, or there's an experience.
yeah.
It's like it may be past, but still there is a POSC in the past.
I always consider only the which has been triggering right now as I consider.
You mean physical?
Yes.
Mm.
Physical or any situation or any experience which happening now, I consider as my triggers, but I never consider my past as my triggers till now.
Yeah, past, future, anything, because mind can run away anywhere, no? And it gives shape to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Smita.
Yeah, Nageshwari? Okay, she's not in her seat. Okay, yeah, Nageshwari?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Smita. Yeah. Actually, recently, yesterday, one incident happened. Just wanted to discuss about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know like chanting might help here, just wanted your view on that. Actually, one of my friend, a close friend of mine, just wanted to take a divorce from her husband. But I don't think they don't have any issue with them. Like they both are doing good. And her point was, even after divorce, they are going to stay together. She will do all the duties, whatever she was doing as a wife. She will do everything. She has a daughter. She will take care of her daughter. Everything will happen. But she wanted a divorce. I didn't get that point why she wanted the divorce, but she's not opening up also. I know that it is none of my business. I should not have been so arrogant to her. But at that moment, I got so much anger and I was asking her, are you trying to take revenge on your husband? For me, the word divorce felt like you're going to do everything, but what bothers you to be a wife and do that, and why you wanted a divorce? Since she didn't give me a proper answer, I just went ahead and asked her, are you taking revenge on your husband, which hurted her a lot. After that, from yesterday morning, this happened. From that moment, I'm not able to digest it. Even then, I tell myself, like, God in me wanted to go through the situation. That's why I asked her that question. And because from quite some time, I wanted to be in silent and I don't want to speak too much, but I'm not doing it. always when some discussion happens, I'm in a urge to convey something or ask something. So I thought yesterday God is giving me a lesson that next time I should not talk anything when something is some discussion is going on with someone else. I should be patient enough to listen to them before I talk. But I'm not able to come in acceptance with this instance, Smita. I don't know how to handle that. It is bothering me a lot.
Mm. Yeah, I think when we are attached to somebody, no, like you said,
Mm.
close friend, when we are attached to them, we sort of believe that they have to align to some of the beliefs that we have. So it is a common belief that if somebody is staying together, then they'll have to be married. It's a common belief system. And and obviously it is very weird to understand that, oh, if somebody wants a divorce, but they'll still be in a relationship, they'll still be taking care of the children. So they just want to be free. And see, they may have their own reasons why they don't want to be in a marriage. Maybe the husband might say, because you are my wife, you're obligated to do X, Y, Z, which he may not be in a position to discuss with you. Maybe physical relationships or something like that. She may not be in a position to discuss with you, where they may have that kind of understanding between them. But for you, from your point of view, you have heard that they want to go through this, but it may not align with you because you don't have too many facts to support your ego. So, for example, if she probably comes and tells you, this is the reason, because both the husband and wife are okay with the divorce. No, it's not like one person is okay, the other person is not okay. So, but they are still willing to stay. Maybe there are some clauses where when they are not married, then maybe some property will come. We don't know. There could be many possible reasons which even they are trying to hide. They may, and maybe their family is also okay. We don't know. But it feels complete in your head if they are husband and wife. It feels like happy family and all that kind of thing. It feels like a whole, not a broken kind of thing. The ego will feel very happy if they are a whole, and if it is not a not incomplete feeling like that. So which is why you are trying to basically go against them, and you're asking for reasons. You may be okay with the divorce if she gives you a right reason, and then you're also angry that she's not giving you a right reason. So in that anger, you just blurted whatever came to your head, which is, are you taking revenge on your husband? Why would she? I mean, both of them have accepted. So there is nothing like she wants a divorce from the husband. No, it's both of them have accepted that they want a divorce. So there may be some unknown reason. So what you should think is, oh, there is this belief system in my head. And because I have a lot of attachment to this person, I'm feeling it very strongly. But here, if you see, they are not going through a lot of loss. She's not going through a lot of loss. Neither she's getting separated. She's still living in the same house. Everything is still going to be happening. Money is going to still be spent. It's not like she's going out to the street or something like that. So there is not much loss except for some social obligation. Maybe they have the feeling that we should not bind ourselves because some society is telling us to get married. Who knows, whatever the husband and wife's thing is, right? So it is none of our business. But what you have to believe, that there is this spouse who came and told me something that happened in her life, and then it is totally against what I believe, and hence I am disturbed. And this belief system that people have to stay in a marriage is what is bothering me. But let's say if you have heard of somebody, some live-in relationships, you wouldn't have probably felt so bad. But if it came to your own kind, then it bothers you. Why? Because now it is not aligning with your belief system. But if you also had okay feelings with live-in relationships, then you would have felt, yeah, I think it should be okay. But because there is a clash, So just think that, oh, this is what has happened. Next time when that thought comes, now though anyway you've shouted at her, revenge, all that happened. So don't worry too much about it. Yes, it bothers you. The fact that they are divorcing it bothers you, or the fact that you became angry bothered you?
Actually, the way I asked the question and angry bothers me a lot because as a friend, I should have understood her more, right?
Mm,
Before I asked that question, I should have tried to understand. If she is not replying, I should have given her time. That
mm.
is all. Everything is there in my mind, Smita. I know, like it is. She
What
needs some
came,
time.
what is that feeling of anger came naturally to you? In the sense, it came as a second nature.
Mm, mm,
See, if we sometimes as parents also, no, we try to expect certain things from our children, and when they don't do, even we shout at them like this only. So
yeah,
these things happen very naturally in our life. So what it means that if somebody very close to us do not act as per our belief system, there is a tendency to be angry with them. And you can see the same pattern in your own life that you may be displaying in your own life as well, which means it is getting repeated. So just
yes,
believe that, oh, there is a misalignment of this thing. So next time when that thought that I became angry with her or something came, just accept yourself that it was getting released, but I withheld it. So at least when you think about it, when like I shouldn't have been angry, forget about that. Don't say I shouldn't have been angry. I became angry at that time. So now the fact that that belief system is there within me, I accept it. She helped me realize that I have this kind of feeling inside me, this kind of belief inside me, which gets clashed, and then I shout back at them. Just accept the presence of that inside you. That's enough. Yes, what can I do? That is inside me. That is why I shouted. That is the current state of what I am. That kind of acceptance is enough. Now you're not blaming her. You're not doing anything to her. You're not thinking about her. It's like, for example, let's say I have fever, and then there is a running race. And then I tried to run, but I fell down because I had fever and I had giddiness or something, and I fell down. So don't we accept the fact that I fell down because I have fever? So now that's why I couldn't run. So that form of acceptance that, oh yeah, I have this condition, which is why I reacted like this. So that's, yeah, that is the acceptance. Tomorrow, when I don't have this condition and when I have enough awareness, when I'm spiritually even more evolved, then I'll anyway not behave like this. So mentally, you can just say, please forgive me. Just for the sake of, if you feel complete, you can just say mentally, forgive me, and move on. Don't worry too much. Don't give attention to what you did. Finish the chapter there itself. Again and again, when it keeps coming, again and again, keep repeating the exercise. Don't give too much of attention to why I became like that. That why is not necessary. You are like that, which is why you behaved like that. Just accept that. Tomorrow, also believe that you may not be like that when you are in the right level of awareness. Okay?
Thank you
Try
so
that
much.
and see, and then it'll all work. It's like
Yes.
the whole point is about accepting ourselves the way we are, which is why we are like that. So if we all will not be like that, we all will not be like that if we had a little more awareness. And when that more comes, we'll not be like that. So we have to wait till we get that more. Which means we have to keep doing our spiritual routine and other things slowly, slowly. And let's say you may apply in some other place, this place, that also will earn you energy. You may not have done acceptance here, but in other small, small areas you would have done, no? That also will add up.
Okay.
So slowly, slowly, all the energies will get added up, and slowly you'll come to this point. No, tomorrow when you are ready to hear that kind of thing again, she'll only come and tell you the reason.
Yeah.
Or you'll encounter her and you may probably, next time you may say, I'm sorry, this is what I did. I shouldn't have done that. You may itself be okay to say that, and she'll probably give you the right reason. And then whether she says the reason, whether she doesn't say the reason, you know that you've actually been comfortable even with or without it. Because you've already worked on it.
Okay.
Whether she gives you a reason or not, now it doesn't matter because the belief system itself is now sort of accepted and like taken for granted types. It was always within you, no? The whole cause was within you. So she was just not connected to this entire thing. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, Smita, Anju here.
Anju.
Yeah, Smita, my sister-in-law has come from Delhi, and she didn't come for my daughter's wedding. Okay, I could understand that. Now that she's come to Bombay, she's my pose is a confusion. It is that she's come to Bombay, but she's not keen. She's asked my daughter to come home, but she's not asked her the son-in-law to come and visit her. And my daughter also has asked her to come to visit her place. So now she's not keen to. At least she's not made an effort to go. In another 2 days, she'll be going back to Delhi. She's not made an effort to go and meet them. Yeah, to meet my daughter and son-in-law. So I was in a confusion whether I should be asking her, why is that? Matlab, if you didn't come for the wedding, it's okay. But at least you're not even making the effort to go and meet them also. Yeah, call them both to your home or you want to meet them. So actually there's only one point. There are many various situations when I'm confused. I'm very indecisive. What should I do? Matlab, I was thinking
Find out
whether
what's your desire. What is that desire that you want to achieve? What is that desire that is making you want something to happen? What is that? What is that
I
you
think
want
the
to get?
family bonding. Yeah.
Yeah, you want her to sort of accept your daughter and son-in-law.
Yeah.
That is a desire. So be okay with, like, surrender that desire and let it go. It doesn't matter who accepts it or not. You have already done your job. She has got what she wanted. You have got what you wanted. Why another desire that somebody else also should want it? Right? So wherever there is a confusion, no, there is always a desire that is sort of keeping us in the flux. So then let go of the desire. It always will give you clarity.
I was just thinking if would have been my sister, I would have gone and asked her, right? Now she is my sister-in-law. So, what am I differentiating between these two? As in, it would have been my brother's sibling. Naturally, I would have freely gone openly. I would have gone and asked them. Yeah, why is that?
How does
And
this help? I'm just asking, how does this help? Like, what are you learning from this? The whole point is, you know.
yeah,
So you'll have to put everything into the perspective of what trigger am I getting? And what is being released out of me? What is it that I have to accept? What is that disturbs me? What is disturbing me? What is that feeling?
my disturbance is what? Whether should I? One way I'm okay. It's really okay. Whether she's a meeting accepting my son-in-law or not, I'm really okay because it has to come from the heart. जबरदस्ती तो नहीं कर सकते. One way like that. But one way I'm thinking, अगर यही मेरी बहन होती, तो I would have gone and asked them clearly, now openly, without
There's
even
again another
thinking.
belief system. No, all of these belief systems are anyway there. But what is it that you have to learn in this moment? What is the universe trying to show you? Pose and all, pose 1, pose 2, pose 3, pose 4. There are many poses here. See them all as dummies. Now, dummies are showing you some message. Either with their presence, see, there is one belief system which says, if she was my close relative, then I would have definitely done this. I can go talk to them. But because she is my brother's wife, I can't go talk to her. But I want her to like her. So all these are again belief systems. It doesn't matter. You just have to ignore that. If you give attention to make it happen, no, it will keep you in that state. Tomorrow they will go off to Delhi. Life will not matter. If people have to meet, they will anyway meet. God will make them meet. Why is Anju necessary to make them meet? That too, Anju, in a disturbed state. Why is it necessary that you in a disturbed state, God will use you and make you do all this? Oh, it will not work like that. See, to move our hands itself, we need God's permission. He has to be okay with it. Somebody within you has to be okay with it. And the same God within them has to be okay with them meeting somebody else. And that too, it is not even happening in front of your eyes, which means that is still again in an assumption Maya state. It's in your head. If it is not happening in front of your eyes, it is actually happening in our head only. Oh yeah, they are meeting today. All that is happening in your head. There are so many, this entire thing, life is very like Maya life, right? It's very complex. Our mind is very complex. So just stick to the principles. You'll actually get clarity. If you get lost in the drama, no, you'll get so confused. We can't solve the drama. Mother Maya is like, she's a pro in all these things. Vishwamitra sat for meditation. He was a Brahma Rishi. He was becoming a Brahma Rishi. And he himself got carried away in this whole thing. Urvashi or Menaka, they came and then they spoiled his thing. Who are we? And again he sat for tapas, knowing that he has all these sense organ weaknesses and all. And then he became a Brahma Rishi. Who are we? We are not even an iota of what he was also. I mean, we get lost, Anju. Don't get carried away in the drama. It's like when you know that you get distracted, no, don't focus on the distraction at all. See, when you want to make something happen, no, you keep trying to focus on it. I'm just saying, come back to the whole point of I am this person on earth and I have to self-realize. Then the whole problem changes. The way you look at things will change. If you keep focusing on your progress, no, Anju, everything will automatically realign. If you keep focusing on fixing something, no, it will never realign and you will also not realign. You will also not align. There is no growth in you. There is no growth in others also. Who are others? They are not here to change. They are only here to fix you. And they'll keep trying to fix you. All this drama will continue to happen till eternity. And Pralaya also will happen. One more new Yuga also will come. It will keep happening. And in the next state also, again, we'll get back and then we'll continue. New body. There is no end to all this. So forget about everybody. You have everything in your life. Why are you getting caught up in the drama? Correct? No. It doesn't matter whether anybody meets them, doesn't meet them. She's happy. He's happy. They have a good relationship with you. Enough. If they want to meet each other, they'll have a conversation. Separate conversation. They'll make an effort. She'll make an effort. She'll make an effort. They'll all do. Even if you tell your daughter, she may not agree. You tell this lady, she may not agree. Because each of them are your own egos. Have their own belief systems. You can't fix other people's life. Especially adults. It's very difficult. You just work on yourself. Your Antakaran will clean up. And that clean state will bring a different experience in front of you, which is better than the current. If you have more light, what will happen? The darkness around you will be little less. That is what it is. So bring light inside you. How will light come? Less belief systems. Less belief systems that are in misalignment. So if you keep cleaning up your misaligned belief systems, you have more light. Because one less cloud, one less dark cloud. So that is what you have to do. If you can't see why that whatever is happening is right only. But if you can't understand why the right thing is happening and which means you need clarity. It means you need light, more light. That more light will come when you let go of that belief system, which is giving darkness, which is keeping you in darkness. It's all about light. Let's say your children are not listening. they not listening is the right thing to happen at that point. It is happening according to God's will only. But I'm not able to accept it. No. Whose problem is it? It's my problem.
Mm.
So when we bring light inside ourselves, then we will understand why that lack of understanding, why children are not listening. Then, because I understood that, the children will now suddenly start listening. Because lesson has been learned.
Mm.
That is the whole thing. If you learn the lesson, there is no reason for the problem to exist. The problem exists because lesson has not been learned. So don't give a chance for the problem to continue to keep existing forever. Why don't you make that attempt?
Mm.
If you have the awareness, execute the awareness. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Pavitra?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I want to share something on food. I was having juices and fruit breakfast, one meal a day, but suddenly everything stopped. And I was back to the old practices of having tea as the first thing in the morning. Somehow I was able to stick to fruit breakfast. And lunch and dinner, I'm not worried about. I'm eating whatever I want to eat. It is dependent on the food. And I was worried and I journal. And what I find out is I was not doing this uh, clean eating practices for myself, but to for the sake of my kids. So that they can observe me and stick to clean eating. One is that. And my in-laws were here. They also used to take a lot of packed foods. So in their presence, I want to show them that I'm a clean eater. Once they left the home, I'm just eating a lot of packed food, something like that. First, I was worried, and today morning, suddenly a realization came. Like for a single cup of tea, I was worrying my mind too much. Should I have it or not to have it? As the first thing in the morning, or why should I have? Then I realized you feel like having. Accept it, cherish that cup, have it. That is what I felt and had my tea also. So I don't know how to proceed with this. So sometimes I feel like this practices came to you at some point and you started following it. The same way it may again come to you. At that point, start following it. Be in the present and whatever you feel like eating, eat it. That is what is my decision to follow. I just wanted your view on this.
See, typically, when we have certain lifestyle changes in our life, there will always be a strong reason. And now in your life, that strong reason has gone. You can say it was again, it's a desire only. For example, let's say if it's a health issue, there is a strong desire that this health issue will go if I follow these kinds of practices. So then the health issue will go. And in your case, again, because in-laws were there, you were following. But what about the children? They are now, their reason is not very strong. Huh?
I don't know, ma'am. I was telling him when my son used to have cakes and all, I was telling him, no, it is not healthy. Don't have it. But now I am having along with him. Not we are having, and I take him to the shop, and he was like, Amma, you take me to hot breads. What happening, Amma? This is the first time you took me here. Thank you, like that. But then I felt okay, this bonding, maybe I want it from him. I don't know. Somehow this is
See,
happening now.
yeah, I think, see, what we have to do is sometimes when you are not, when you are comfortable with whatever you're doing as of now, no, be in the same state. Some other time you will get a reason maybe to shift from that state. And at that time, you will exactly know what to do because you already have this experience. Sometimes what happens is we go to a higher state, get the experience of a higher state, and then we may also come to a lower state, and then just so that now some of these things, if it has to produce some triggers from within you, let's say the foods have to trigger some things from within you, Either it could be good emotions or misaligned emotions, whatever. Whatever has to be triggered will get triggered. And at that time, it's necessary, some of these foods, right? Some of these lower frequency foods, it is necessary to, why are we craving for some of these fruits? Because there are some equivalent frequencies within us that needs release also. And when we fall sick or something because of that, it is because those things got matched. And at that time, when let's say you ate some cake or something and then you fell sick also, we should be okay with that as well. Acceptance means, yeah, I'm enjoying the cake. I'm okay enjoying the consequences also. We should be okay with that. But what happens is we eat, we are not okay with consequences at all. So the whole experience we should be okay with. That is one point. Another point is, you're eating in this moment, eat, that was your choice. In some other moment, something happened. You don't have to think that is connected to this. You just think that, oh, in this moment, I have to suffer these changes. Or this is, let's say, these are the health issues I have to face. That also I'll face. You don't have to analyze and say this moment, because I did that, now because this happened. Don't connect moments. Be okay
But
with
that
any
is also
experience.
happening actually. Connecting is also happening because
That will
when I
happen
have,
naturally because we have belief
yeah.
system.
Mm.
Which is why, see, the whole point of a lifestyle change that we follow in this current body consciousness state is because our belief systems are so strong that we don't want some of that we are trying to go to a higher state by eating clean, just so that we can clean up many of the triggers that bother us at a higher level, sorry, at a deeper level. Then we won't have the body also to bother, right? But once you start having a disciplined body, mind and all that, the body would have got clean. Then you'll be able to apply that mind to also come to a state where you're eating anything, and then you'll also be able to control the body's functioning up and down or whatever. Then you'll also be having a spiritual routine. But initially, when the body is not fully clean, balancing mind and body is a very tricky affair. Because it's all happening at lower frequencies, right? There we don't have too much of control. We are not Siddha Purushas to be able to take anything and then let anything happen. Because we are still in that body consciousness. We are not yet, we have to go through placebos in our life to be able to handle major issues and then come back to something that requires a lot more skill to do. See, mind related work needs a lot more skill. Body related work needs little bit of discipline. The discipline that you learn in body related work, you'll be able to apply that skill in mind work. That is why when the healing people go through these detoxes and healing and all, they would have learned discipline, consistency, surrender, all of that they would have learned. Then they can apply it to some other thing. But yeah, like you said, you don't even have a reason to go. But then many people are ethically, they go plant-based and all of those things. Many people go for health reasons, they go plant-based. But like I said, as of now, whatever is your choice, rather respect your choice. When the strong reason comes for you to, when I say strong reasons comes for you to shift, the first thing that you'll remember is going back to this life, that lifestyle only, because that is the only exposure you have. Right? So yeah, maybe that time also will come. Did I answer your question or I confused you?
Little bit confused. I'll listen it again.
Basically, what I'm saying is accept wherever you are, including the consequences in case it happens also. That's it. See, in my life also, right, there was a time when my children also ate junk, like at teenage level. Initially, even they were very strict when they were like, okay, listening and all that. But then when I have realized that the moment I started becoming far more open-minded, broad-minded, spiritual, I have seen that even they have started becoming, they have sort of become more loose and more triggers were coming towards me. Like, okay, what if I do this? Are you going to accept? What if I do that? Are you going to accept? So here, the more spiritual maybe you are becoming, your practices also are basically becoming sort of letting loose. And then you are majorly being asked to accept yourself whether you can continue to be like that. It is more about your body is also your mind, your body, everything is a pose only. Everything will sort of challenge you and say, can you accept this? Can you accept yourself being like this? All this will actually come in front of us. So whether it is children, whether it is us, it is all going to be a pose only. We ourselves are a pose to the belief systems that we need to release. And at that time, same principle. Just watch that belief system. And it is not like you have to act to make that belief system go away. You just have to watch that belief system being the reason for that thing. And then you just have to say, okay, fine, I accept it. It is within me only, which is why it happened. So the more you are in that kind of state, that's it. You and God, that's all. Are you clear?
And one thing is, ma'am, when it comes to children, the reason I started is to tell them that how I feel by eating healthy. But the people at home, my husband or those guests who are visiting, everybody will be bringing only the packed foods. So how much ever I try, there are people, and if we go to places, to native places, there also they are exposed to only to this kind of food. So something like how much effort I put from myself, I'm unable to make them stop eat that. So maybe that is where I decided to leave it to their choice and completely. I also started, I don't know. Now, when I'm talking to you, I just got this realization now. Maybe because of that, I stopped my effort. Why should I? I am the only person. So what happens is my son started thinking like I'm the only person who is stopping his happiness when it comes to food, because everybody else in the house and relatives, everybody is giving him whatever he wants, but I'm the only one who is stopping him. So I felt, why should I stop? If he is here with the reason to enjoy that food and meet the consequences, if that is his sole plan, who am I to stop? And as we discuss here, that our duty is to tell them what happens if this kind of food is being taken regularly. So I do that job as a mother. Then I leave it to their choice, like whatever happens, it has to happen.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you are also continuing to not follow it, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, to some extent, I think when I came to that point in my life where like I used to say, oh, gluten-free and all that. Over a period of time, I sort of let it loose, majorly because they were anyway eating gluten outside as well. So I just felt that, okay, fine, so what? Even I'll make it for them and give. Even I started doing it for them and give. I think to some extent, I sort of disconnected or detached from they giving me happiness, from the expectations that they should give me happiness by being healthy. And I was just trying to control them being healthy in my own way. There is when other people come to me because I'm a practitioner, the relationship there is different. But when in my own family, I'm not a practitioner in my own family. I'm more like a mother who knows some stuff. That's it. So there are things that they follow. There are things that they don't follow. And I started to detach from the need that they have to do certain things just so that I can be happy. So I started focusing on that majorly. And I started focusing on that with myself also. For example, I may tell others to basically, like for example, if there are some critical cases or something, I may maybe ask them to do only juice or something, or I may ask them to not eat cooked food with fruits or something. But when it works for my body, I'm okay with that. So I started to disconnect the feeling that I need to prove to them by being who I am. Rather, I should do exactly what they have to see. That also I started to disconnect. I did not really, whatever they see within me doesn't mean that they have to be like that. If they are seeing, if they are following it behind me, I don't care. That is their choice. But if they ask me a question, then I'll give them an answer that I would probably tell them. So these other things that I'm trying to control, I detached from that. And I did whatever I wanted to do also. Because it was anyway working for me, I now had a different belief system where I was able to even work on the foods and work on the influence of the foods on my body. So I did not really think that, I thought that when I put dependencies on clients and all of those things, it actually bothered me also. So I sort of detached. I sort of did not think that it mattered anymore. The happiness that I get from whether they see me, whether they don't see me, mattered anymore. So if they have to follow it, if they want to ask me, let them ask me, and then I'll tell them whatever they have to hear. If they don't ask me and they follow, Smita is doing something, I'll also do, yeah, let them do. Away from me, what they do, how do I know? Because that is Maya. So sort of I brought some of these things. So it is very much true that the more you sort of let loose, you will see the world is also actually becoming loose. They are also not following. The more I don't follow, because it is working for me, they also don't follow. But it is okay that they don't follow because they are only reflecting you, as long as you are not again trying to control them and make them follow, but you don't follow. Right? So you should be able to, you should be okay with that looseness that you see there also. Because now you realize that you have become like that. It's just
Yeah.
reflecting there. It's okay, detach. And if there is something that is bothering you, it will come to you as a trigger and you should be able to watch it and say, oh yeah, this is my trigger. I'm just getting uncomfortable here. Why? Because of this belief system. Let that belief system happen. I'm not going to react. So it is more about that introspection, that if you're able to catch yourself. If you're not able to catch yourself, slowly, you can eventually get to that point by repeated occurrences. Did I answer?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good question. Good question.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other question? We have 10 more minutes. What, Uma? Nice hairdo and all.
No, I have done head shave before 6 months, 4
Okay.
months before. No, so long I didn't join. Actually, I can't able to listen also. So I thought it's 1:30. I'll try to join, and then after so long, I want to listen Smita's speech also. So that's why I joined today.
Yeah. And you know all this. You've attended last classes, last seasons and all.
No, last season I didn't attend. Actually, first season I attended. But last season I could not able to do it. So I thought I'll attend today.
It's anyway the same thing. So I'm sure you would have understood.
Yeah. So even once in a while, me and Pavitra also will discuss. So that will happen. So that was good. Pavitra was doing good job also nowadays, taking classes and all.
Good. Narmada, you had a question? Okay. If Pooja, I'm sure you have questions. Tell me. You are going to write on the group.
Yeah, it's the same question what the Pavitra has recently asked. I am just revolving around my children only and about the eating habits only. So what she said na ki eventually I also used to say about the food to eat healthy because I am eating healthy, no junk food and all that. But my children, actually my husband, children are following, but by seeing my husband, they are not following. Ki, because my husband has the belief ki what is this ki har samay food and this caused the clashes in between us also. So now this, like Pavitra said ki she left and thought ki it's their sole plan. So I am also thinking like that ki, and what you have said na ki we are trying to control them because we want them healthy so that we become happy. By seeing them healthy we become healthy. Actually the main point is that ki by seeing them healthy we are happy because we want that our children also follow healthy lifestyle, they should be remain healthy, and something comes in on their health. So we generally associate that health with food only. Ki you have ate that and this. So actually, I'm also not overcoming from it. I am not getting out of it. Ki how to make them aware, or should I accept ki whatever the consequences will come, they should face it, and I should accept the consequences whatever it comes. So I am not able to get ki how to be aligned with that belief ki na food is making them healthy, or that belief ki let it be, I should be do what I am associated with and let them do what they are doing it.
What I would do if I was in your position is I would just focus on my own health and I would not worry about the children health. Even though they are eating whatever they want. Let's say they fall sick. At that time, I will nurse them the way it has to happen. Let's say, for example, during that time, if they are okay for juice, give them juice. If they are not listening, they have to go, they want to go through allopathy medicines, yeah, go through. Because they have a lot more life also within them to be able to learn in this journey. But you have a very, very few more years to basically live with the children and the experiences that they give you. So when you constantly try to control them, when they are not agreeing, there is a different thing when they agree. But if they are not agreeing, then your whole journey, see, they will leave you by the time they are 18 and go to higher studies or something like that, they leave you and go. That window is lost after that. Especially after 12 itself, they won't listen. So, which means you have a very short window to basically take that triggers, learn from that. Which means the teacher's role in your life is very limited. Every teacher's role in your life is very limited. You should be ready to just grab, and then work on yourself. Because all your problems are basically because you're trying to control many things, right? So just focus on yourself. You are the only person to work on. Don't try to control anybody. Whatever they want to eat, let them eat. Whatever, if they want to fall sick also, let them fall sick. Bhagwan ki marzi hai. You have the capacity to serve. Seva karne, you can do, no? Seva. Just think
Yes.
that is also opportunity, do. Focus
Like
on your
these days,
seva towards them.
like these days, my teenage daughter, she is in 12th standard. Whenever she says anything, na, she got irritated. Whatever I say, she got irritated. And whenever I speak to her about the God and some other thing, so she says, "Mama, क्या है आप हर समय यही चालू हो जाते हो, ज्ञान देने चालू हो जाते हो." तो she become irritated in every small things.
See, this will happen because when we are constantly working on controlling them, no, this will happen. What is the sound?
Nothing. The call was coming.
Call was coming. So when we try to control their life, no. See, when we talk to teenage daughters and they are not interested in listening to meditation, you like to talk about meditation, you like to talk about spiritual stuff because that is your passion. Doesn't mean that it's their passion. When this kind of situation happened in my own life, they used to always say, Amma talks only about soul. Because I used to be always on like with clients all the time. So either it was diet or it was some talk about some spiritual stuff or some emotional stuff. And even when they came to me for advice, I used to talk to them like client, as if they are my clients only. They would say, Amma, talk like a proper mother and not like a teacher. Which means they wanted me to say, yes, don't go to her because she's bad. Don't talk to her. Yeah, she's always going to behave like that with you, so don't go talk to her. They wanted me to tell such kind of sentences. And to some extent, I tried to, I didn't try to mask or anything. I didn't try to like fake it or anything. But to a large extent, I would tell, you have to change yourself. You have to change your perspective. Somehow I would reword and try to smartly sell whatever I want to say only. And not, and even today, I don't allow them to badmouth other people in front of me. and they don't like it. They'll do, but then to a large extent, if I have an opportunity, I'll tell, do we really have to badmouth other people? I tell. But I know if they are not going to listen, I tell, but I don't insist. It's okay if they want you to talk something else. You don't have to talk only that. See, what happened in my case, no? I realized that we don't have any other bonding with them apart from what we want to talk with them. So see if you can just not talk whatever you want to talk, but then just hear what they want to talk.
Actually, my daughter wants that I used to sit with her, used to see movies and some sort of like this. But I said, "Okay, I don't have the time. I want to go to read my this. I have this class. I want to listen to this." So she said, "Mummy, क्या आप सारा दिन busy रहते हो? You don't have the time to sit with me." So nowadays, I have started to eat with her, sit with her at the time of the eating and watch something like that. So she said कि now you are like a mother. अदरवाइज कि आप हर समय कि ये करना है, ये करना है, ये करने में बिजी रहते हो।
Because it is very important, like I said, no, remember that they are here for a very short time. Once they leave your house, then that pose is not your constant trigger. But usme se aap, whatever you had to learn, you have lost that opportunity. So hence, as long as they are going to be with you, make the best use of the time and come to a positive state between both of you. And that is why, right, when I'm talking to my children, I keep my phone aside and then I talk to them. Even if they are telling a joke that I really can't understand, I'm at least listening to them. Sometimes I say, Amma, it was a joke. You have to supposed to laugh. Then I say, oh, sorry, I didn't understand. It's okay, but then you still have to listen. See, my daughter is in the US, right? So what used to happen is she would call either during Geeta class or she would call during my gym. And then I would tell, Neha, I have to go to the gym. So can you call me maybe a little at 8 o'clock or something so that I don't have to go and talk at 9:30. But for them, the night has just started at, let's say, 11 o'clock in the college life. They're in the dorms and all that. And life has just started at 11 o'clock in the night. For us, it is like we are in the peak of the morning here. So, but then but when she went to my sister's house, she has told my sister that, Amma is very busy. Same thing. Amma is very busy. Whenever I call, she's basically doing something or the other. But when I tell her like that, she would say, yes, Ma, you have to prioritize whatever you have to do. Yes, go do it. Yes, yeah, go to gym, go do this. She's very understanding when she talks to me. But then internally, my sister told her that she was not. Maybe it was my own feeling that she's not going to be happy when I say no. Maybe it just was a reflection. But then what I felt was, when she talks, how long will she keep talking? Tomorrow when she gets married, she'll not have time to talk. Tomorrow when she has children, she'll not have time to talk. Now she's trying to talk. And that too, when they have exams and this and that, they'll not talk. How much will they talk? Not more than 1 hour. So I decided to even sometimes not go to the gym and still talk with her. Because at that time, they'll talk all kinds of things. It may look like it is very, very unnecessary. It will look like it is very silly. Maybe they'll talk about some friends and maybe see, this is how she did. That is how they misunderstood. All that typical drama only they'll talk about. But it will feel, from a spiritual angle, it will feel that, oh, all this is like bullshit. But that listening to them, staying in that state, will give you tolerance, patience, and it will genuinely, if you say, this is the titiksha that God wants me to have. It's like if there's a child in front of you and it's talking all kinds of things, you would still sit and talk to the child, no? Like that. But these days, of course, mothers are getting busy. They are busy on their phones most of the time. I've seen in parks there. So either way, I think it is very important to give that time to your children. If they are asking for your time, give them that time. Recently, I had a client who had a similar issue. And then she was telling that the child was demanding a lot of attention. And it wanted her to sit with her. The child wanted her to sit with her. and the child was asking for permission. Can I do this? Can I do this? Still a young child. But then she was feeling that the child has to be independent. See, we have such kind of children where we want that children to listen to us. We want our children to ask us. All that phase has gone. But in her case, her child is still in that phase where it is doing all these things. But if she becomes like us and tries to make the child independent now itself, it is hardly not even 5 or something. Try to make the child, no, I think he was 10 years. Try to make the child suddenly independent. The child is not ready to be independent. Why the child is not independent? Because the child is still not feeling safe in that environment. It is still feeling that there is some threatening state, emotional issues. So I was just telling you, first become comfortable, give him that attention that he's asking for. Once he becomes comfortable, because my mother is constantly listening to me, she's there with me, blah, 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 all that happens, then the child will automatically leave her and go do whatever he wants. So now when the child is asking for your attention, because God is designing that entire environment for you, so allow it to happen. If they are not listening to you, they want to eat junk, means they need to eat junk. Tomorrow they will know you've already exposed them to that lifestyle. They have sampled that lifestyle, or they'll remember, oh my God, my mother was actually eating all these things for this reason. Then they will automatically follow. It's not like they are not unaware of all that. It's just that they don't have a reason to follow it. When my children had a reason, they followed. Now when they are not having a reason, to some extent, they did not follow. I left it. Eat whatever you want. Sometimes I've only bought some things for them and given, just so that they feel that I'm not a roadblock or something. Because to a large extent, right, even for my mother, in her last stages and all that, she was in the hospital. For some reason, she wanted to have dairy. She was feeling very spicy. The food was spicy. We couldn't have peanut curd there. So she said it was spicy. Then she said, you don't have any objections from me. If you want to have dairy curd, that is your choice. Don't fear because I'm around. Right? She used to have that fear in the past. Oh, when Smita is around, I should not eat all these things because she'll judge me. She used to follow. Then health and all became okay. Then she was in the prime of her health. But she had all her desires. She wanted to eat these sweets, that sweet, this sweet, all of that she wanted to eat. And then when I used to be around, she would not do. But later on, I told her, you do whatever you want in her life. I stopped questioning her. I used to ask her, why are you eating all this? I would ask her in the past. But later on, as I grew spiritually, I stopped asking her. Why are you eating? I would never question. Even in front of me, if she takes some sweet, no, I would not question. And slowly, that it got disconnected. Me asking her, she depending on me, she looking at me as a fear, all that disconnected. And later on, even in the hospital, one day she had curd. I did bother about that also because I realized that whatever they want, let them do. It's their journey. God is making them do. What is bothering me is my own belief system. And I don't want that to get executed. Let it go. So I was focusing more on what is bothering me, was inside me, not their act. Their act is only triggering the same frequency belief system from within me. So then I realized that, oh, it was actually within me only. No, I'll not work. I'll not give it attention. Let them do whatever they want. So it was that feeling that Pose is not the responsible person anymore. I don't have to control them. I just have to really remember that it is within me. So even what is bothering you is within you. And that is what is weighing you down. Slowly, you work on that. Ignore. They have a huge life in front of them. Whether they fall sick, not fall sick, they will learn from it.
Okay. Smita, one more
It
question.
is going to trigger you every time they fall sick. That is also there. But you should just say that I have got opportunity for seva, I will do. Think that you are a nurse. Nurse doesn't have any attachment to what people eat, they don't eat or something. If you give them the right, if you can offer them fruits. If they don't want to eat fruits, you say, yeah, okay, I did my job. Expectations are not there. No, they say, no, I want chips only. You still, abhi chips nahi khana hai, it's not okay. But yeah, but if they say, no, I want to eat chips, let them eat chips. See, there is always a threshold limit for anybody to go to negative state, Pooja. There is always a limit. There is no limit for a person to go to positive state. But there is always a limit for a person to go to negative because the body can't handle it after that. Body and its limitations can only go so far. They cannot go so deep that they can't come out of it. And that state, they will probably be in there for some time. But they cannot go beyond a certain negative. And what is that threshold limit? They only will know. You just have to have patience until they go hit that state. They will come back. And once they go to that state, no, they will realize that I cannot be in this state, and they will come back so far positive that you will be shocked. You need to allow people to go to that negative state for them to realize, because you can't teach them that. Their experience only can teach them. So when people are doing all these things, right, they will realize that what is their true journey when they go and keep hitting that negative. The problem is we are scared that the happiness that they give to us will go away. That is the whole issue. So disconnect that as a source of happiness for you. What you do, you write down some of these things as notes. Some of the key points you write down as notes, like what you have to remember every single time, no? Write down that as notes. Every time you feel triggered, no, go read that. Kya karna hai mujhe karke, you go read that again and again, and then you'll come back to your thing. And even a spiritual routine, right? Have a spiritual routine which will at least engage you for at least 1 hour, 1.5 hours every day, if you have time.
Yeah, that I am doing.
Yeah, it's okay. Something that will connect you to God, where there is only a bhav of I'm doing it for you types.
Smita, one more question. When the person is going through the healing phase, the spiritual awakening is more important, or changing the food and lifestyle is more important?
Depends on where their state of mind is. If some people are very spiritual also, and they have health issues also, at that time, in my opinion, it's better to go parallelly. Then do this also, jitna ho sake, do this also, then do that also. Because let's say a person is doing a lot of spiritual stuff. If the body is not able to handle, no, the body will continue to detox. That detox, if they are not able to handle, see, ideally what should happen is when somebody is going through spiritual stuff, Bhagwan, all of that, then if the detox happens, they should not care about it. Typically, they should be okay with it. Jo bhi hoga, it is whatever it is. And then let's say they get the awareness of doing health and healthy eating and all that, then they can do. But let's say they don't at all have awareness of healthy eating, then they will anyway go through that. No, they don't have a choice. They'll go through that. So see, there are so many people, they'll be on the verge of dying because they are willing to believe that this is how it is supposed to be. I don't have to control it, kind of thing. They are okay with that. So even disease is like that, which is why many people in the past, where they did not have medical and all that, they used to die. And they were okay with it. Today, we feel that we have an alternative. That's why we are not dying. We are trying at least not to die. Basically, what I'm trying to tell is, if the body is first made clean, then it is easier to take those disciplined habits to be able to apply to the mind and put that on God. Otherwise, a diseased state needs a very high consciousness to be able to put it on God, even in the diseased state. At that time, you can't learn to go to God. If you already have learned to go to God, then a disease state will not matter. But from there to learn how to go to God is not possible. You should then clean the body first, because that will connect you to God in the form of higher frequency plant-based foods and all of those things. Juices, fruits and all that, they're very high frequency foods. They'll help you vibrate in that level. In that vibration, all the cleansing will anyway happen. And obviously, it is not happening overnight. We do for a very long time. And that stretch of time will help you learn consistency. It'll give you discipline. It'll teach you discipline. It'll teach you surrender. Because only when you are doing all these three, only result will come. Then you now have a habit. Then the same thing, you'll be able to apply that to your mind. For example, right, acceptance. You're accepting the disease, the pain and other things. At that time, whether you do juice or no, it's a separate matter. But mentally, you still have to be in acceptance, and then only you will heal. See, when we go to let's say somebody comes to me, the very first thing I ask them to do is you need to first trust and have faith in what I tell you. If you are doubting whatever I'm telling you, even if you are doing juice, fruits, whatever, you will not anyway not see results. First, your mind should be ready to put faith. Then whatever I tell you will say, okay. So a mind that is already in surrender will accept the disease also, because they are saying it's healing crisis. It is supposed to go out of the body, allow it to go out of the body. All that when we tell, they are okay with that, irrespective of how many days it takes. That state of mind is more important. And this can apply to other things also. No, the state of mind that children are doing all these things also should be accepted as our reflection. Everywhere, same concepts only we are learning. So when you learn in the body level, the same thing can be understood at the mind level. You'll be like, oh yeah, we did that, no, healing crisis and all that. Okay, belief system is now also healing crisis. What is a toxin inside you is now leaving as a healing crisis. What did we take as juice? Acceptance, faith, belief. We didn't give it that attention. We are not like becoming hyper over healing crisis. What is that? Oh, something is happening, we are not doing any such thing, no, during healing crisis. We are just letting it happen. So like that, even we are letting that happen. So same concepts you'll be able to apply there, because now you have you have the experience of dealing that in the physical body. You can actually be able to take the same principles and go to the mind level. Same principles you can go to every single layer of the subtle body. That is my belief. I'm not gone there yet.
Yes.
Because
Okay,
I've sort of seen the same patterns of acceptance and surrender across all areas of life. Which is why the class, the same topic, higher topic class of acceptance and surrender. Okay?
Okay, Smita,
Shallow.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We close the class now. Take care. To the Supreme God, to our spiritual teachers, to all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, all the saints, holy angels, spiritual helpers, and all the great ones. We thank you for your great, great blessings. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time to come here. Bye-bye. Be blessed.